Hi, this is Yolanda Van Veen. In this segment, we're going to talk about how to plant a perennial flower garden. Now, flower gardens are such a delight, and it's so fun to watch them bloom spring through the fall. And that's the key when you're planting your garden and planting a garden, is to number one, make sure that you have flowers or perennials that will bloom in the spring, summer, and fall. And that way you can enjoy every minute of your garden. And before you even plant anything, do some research. Get some books from your local area or go online and find out what perennials do really well in your area. For example, if I live in the Northwest, so this book, Perennials for Washington and Oregon by Marion Benetti, is a really good choice, and it gives me pictures and directions and all kinds of information on different types of perennials that will do well in my climate. And I found it's really nice to listen to the experts and let them tell you what to plant, and that way you can spend less time on planting. And then even before you plant your garden, decide what type of perennials. Do you want to stick with herbs that flower? Do you want to stick with cut flowers? Do you want hummingbird flowers, butterfly flowers? And just take your time and sit down and figure out what types of flowers would work well in your garden and how much space you have and whether it's sun or shade, because that's very important, because you don't want to put shade plants in the sun and vice versa. And I always like to dream about different types of plants by just looking in different plant books and figuring out what plants are native to what areas and what I would think will do well in my area, and then buying those particular plants. The best thing that you can do is to go to your local garden center or farmer's market and talk to the people that grow the plants themselves. And maybe go to some display gardens or some natural gardens in your neighborhood and figure out what's growing there and what looks good. And then when you plant them yourself, make sure that you have blooms that bloom spring, summer, and fall. Make sure you put sun plants in sun positions and shade plants in a shade position. And make sure that the taller flowers are going to be towards the back of the bed or the middle of the bed. And sometimes if you have a smaller area, don't select any big plants at all, because you want to keep everything small. And keep in mind what your plant and what your garden is going to look like in 5 to 10 years from now. For now, they might look good, but you don't want plants that are just going to take over your garden. So by just doing a little bit of research and putting a little bit wherever you want, and remembering gardening is about change. So you can always move out your plants later, and as long as they look good to you right now, then it's the best time to plant them, and then you'll have a beautiful perennial garden.